And so what's interesting about this is after I raised this some number of weeks ago, there's been some thoughtful dialogue around this. I think more of this is going to come up. But some elements of the American protectionist camp, the protectionist America First camp, said, no, this is just sort of neoliberalism in new clothing, okay? Isn't it just, okay, if we're going to have immigration policies that aren't concerned with protecting the wages of American-born workers from foreign price competition, isn't that just a reversion to the old norm? And here the challenge I would present, it's a fair attempt at a criticism. I disagree with it, but I want to air the perspective to say that, okay, even though Vivek agrees with the future vision, and in fact, I'm far more, if I may say, I would say unabiding in my commitment to America First vision for foreign policy, even than some that may go a little soft on certain other questions. I actually stay true to that. They may still say, okay, even if we're all in the same camp on foreign policy, when it comes to trade policy or immigration, this is just a reversion to neoliberalism. I've seen a couple of articles that have come out that have criticized my view on those grounds, and I think it's good for us to have this conversation. So I am grateful, frankly, to the people who even wrote those pieces, even though I think they may mischaracterize and misunderstand me. But I think let's talk about it. The irony here is actually what I see as the reversion is actually the protectionist version of this, because the real difference between the national libertarian view and the national protectionist view is our competing attitudes towards the regulatory state. See, part of the national protectionist position is that we want to use the levers of government to actually, in a muscular way, stand for the interests of American workers and manufacturers. It's a coherent view. You can agree with it or not. It's not my view exactly, but that's the national protectionist view, is that we got to use the FTC to break up companies that are just too big. We got to use the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, to implement a cap on credit card interest rates. We got to redirect the Department of Education to subsidize 2-year degrees or vocational programs rather than 4-year college degrees, and so on. I mean, I could go on with other agencies too. Department of Transportation is a big one. We need more regulations to make sure that trains aren't falling off the tracks or planes aren't falling out of the sky, something that none of us want. Versus the national libertarian view, which says that we don't want to reshape the left-wing regulatory state with a muscular right-wing version. We want to go in there and dismantle them. Shut down the Department of Education, return the money to the states. Shut down countless other agencies that don't need to exist today. Thin down the federal bureaucracy and its headcount by 75%, with a lot of the regulations to go along with it. Not adding more regulations to the Department of Transportation, but thinning out regulations at the DOT and elsewhere across the board. That's a competing and different view. And so what's actually at stake anyway, to sort of respond to the criticism that I've, intellectual, healthy debate, but criticism that I've encountered in the last several weeks after I've shared my views,